What's going on, guys? And welcome back to Inside the Dome, and welcome to a brand new season of NFL recap from week 1 and the 2025 season. NFL recap of the 2025 season games, the weekly series where we recap everything that happened every week. And NFL football, we are back, baby, for year 3. Or is it 4? Oh boy.
Year three.
Year three.
Let's go.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
animation.
And we're starting off with a doozy of week 1. I'm Carla Jacob. I'm joined today with John Dodaro. How are you doing, John? Brand new week.
I'm feeling better now. Football's back. Thank goodness. We had a whole weekend of football. It was absolutely great to see with college, which we're doing tomorrow, so check that out. But NFL was great. Steelers got the dub. We'll talk about that. There's a lot to talk about. Some really good games that happened over the past couple days. Some games that I think we'll have in Game of the Year, potentially. So
and it's week 1.
It's only week 1.
I asked John specifically if I could kick off the show this week, right? Because I'm mad. I have
You're
a
mad.
bone to pick with you.
With me?
To the Ravens and the Bills. To the Ravens and the Bears. Screw you guys. You made me lose this week in predictions. Because here's the thing, right? I had faith in the Ravens. I didn't have faith in the Bears. And we'll get to that later. But going into Sunday Night Football, right? John and I was one down on John from doing this math correctly. I was one down. The Ravens and the Bills, if I got that correct, we would have been tied, and the Vikings and the Bears would have been the tiebreaker. And technically, John, you should be 9-7. Technically.
Actually, 10-6. 10-6.
10-6. You should technically be 10-6. Because the Ravens choked the crap out of that game. They are now known as the biggest choke team in the NFL. I don't care who you say. It's the Ravens. And the Bears are still the same old Bears because they should have won that game. And they lost in a horrible way.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has changed since we last left off in the NFL season.
I was so happy when writing all that down, realizing that I took both the Bills and the Vikings to win. Because they both came back to win.
We even texted each other. And I was like, okay, tomorrow's game is going to be the tiebreaker. And you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, momentum shifted.
Oh, man. Well, I wish I could say I was happy, but I think you know the story already with that Bills game. Yeah, I'll briefly say here, I made a whole TikTok on it. You can check that out. I had the whole 10-leg parlay going. Just a nice $1 bet. I'd win $200 if it all hit. I needed a lot of things to happen. The Bills had to win and like 9 other things. And at that point, late in the game, I'm like, okay, this bet's not hitting. Like, Bills are getting killed. Like, screw it. I'm going to go to bed early. And then they start coming back. And then when Derrick Henry fumbled, then they scored a touchdown. I was getting really excited. And then when Allen started driving at the end, he got the rushing yards he needed. I'm like, I have every leg correct. The Bills just have to win. And then Josh Allen started kneeling. I took the over on his rushing yards. It was set at 31.5. He was at like 36. He kneeled 3 times, ended up with 30. I lost the whole thing. I was so mad that night. But that's what happened to me. That's why I was not happy about that game. Even though I got the prediction right, like, I was so upset. I was literally about to get a Josh Allen shirt after that. I literally was.
Dude. Josh Allen, MVP of fantasy. Do you want to talk about fantasy real quick before we talk the week?
Yeah, we can do fantasy first.
Right.
So I had him in 2 leagues. One league wasn't enough to give me the win. The other league helped me win by a lot.
Sure.
So Allen was the MVP of last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was definitely MVP. Jimmy, shout out Jimmy. He sent me a TikTok that if you had the Bills team in fantasy, they would have, like, the whole team, they would have got you 126 points.
Wow.
My team had like 90.
Because Keon Coleman did really good. He was on the bench in one of my leagues. James Cook was good. Shakir wasn't bad. Kincaid was good. I don't know how that Bills defense was though. Like they
Negative
probably,
2.
yeah, that had to have held them down. But I guess Allen really held them up.
So
So
let's talk our league real quick. I put up 90 points against 99. My big hope was DJ Moore was going to go off. They did not, especially because of Caleb Williams' performance, which we'll get to. But overall, everyone did pretty good. I don't care for my kicker for the Rams. I think I'm trying to pull him up on waiver wires. Eagles' defense was crappy. I'm hoping they have a bounce back week. But other than that, nothing too bad. Javonte Williams with 20 points. Do you think that's just
stud?
Do you think that's going to be a weekly thing, like doing pretty well, or is it just a one-time?
Well, he got 2 touchdowns, so you have to take that into account. That it was really touchdown based production. But at the same time, he's the starter, and I'm looking at my rookie RB squad, and they didn't even start Jaden Blue, who is their rookie running back.
Yeah.
He was scratched, healthy. And they're talking like he's got to earn a spot and all of that. Now I'm panicking because he's got to earn a spot.
Yeah.
So he's just going to be a healthy scratch until he earns it. So, yeah, Javonte Williams is a nice steal if you got him. He's the RB1, no question.
Travis Hunter didn't do too bad either.
Yeah. So you won your game?
I lost in our league. In my other league, real quick before I let you talk, because I know you have 4 leagues. I won. Mainly because Josh Allen, 38 fantasy points. He put up a crap show. Everyone did pretty good. Colts defense got 14 points, which I did not realize they did, but I think I dropped them and I picked up someone else just because I don't have that much faith in the Colts from going forward.
But
we'll
talk about them.
AJ Brown.
Oof. Had him in one league.
1.8 points. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But let's hear yours before we hop into the discussion of this week in football.
In my 4 leagues, I only won in 1 league.
Dang.
It was a money league. It was a money league.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, but here's the thing. If you're going to lose any week, it's week 1.
Yeah.
Because then you have high waiver wire priority. So, ideally, if you're going to lose any week, it's this week. Like in our league, I only got 80 points. So, I honestly think, let's look at that waiver order. I'm number 1 in our league. So, I get whoever I want.
Where am I?
So, you are, where are you? You're 3.
Okay.
So I get to take whoever I want.
I already put in some waiver wires. I'm not telling you who I did, but
I did too. But I'm now gonna make sure that my top one is like who I really want.
Who's your top
one? Which
I
think I know who it is. I think it's a guy that can easily fit into my rookie RB squad. Okay. So because one guy who I had on my team, Jerome Ford, decided to not be a factor in this game. For the Browns, he only had 1.5 fantasy points as my RB2 when he was projected like 14. So thanks, Ford. Hampton didn't play that good, but he got a lot of touches, so I think he'll get a better chance next week. I had Tyreek Hill, who was really just who just sucked because the Dolphins in general sucked that game. And I mean, Sam Laporta actually looked pretty decent for what it was. And Brian Thomas only had 1 catch, but he had a rushing touchdown. So that's why I lost in our league. And I benched Deebo Samuel, and I don't know if I'll do that again going forward. And he went off. Another league, I know one reason why I lost, and I had Josh Allen in that league, and I still lost, because I had Xavier Worthy starting, and he got injured because of Travis Kelce in that Friday game. So I had a 0-point wide receiver in one of my leagues. That's not going to help me. Even though I really didn't have anyone on the bench that would have got me the win in that situation. So, and then my Dynasty League, I know I was cooked because I had A.J. Brown starting. So,
yeah, that's not
and Bo Nix, who also played bad. Not a great week for fantasy, but I did win. I was the best team of the week in the league I won. So,
that's good.
But it was a bad week for fantasy for the most part.
Yeah, week
one's bad.
Week 1's normally bad, and you don't know what everyone's going to do. I feel like this year especially was just bad.
But I mean, like, let's look briefly at like some top players. Like Justin Jefferson. I mean, he had 14. That's not who I really wanted to mention. Jamar Chase, the usual number 1 overall pick, had 4 points. Only had 4. In that one league I lost in, I had both Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown.
I sent
So
Jimmy an Instagram reel. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up.
oh dear, he's pulling up a reel. While he pull up the reel, yeah, Jamar Chase had 2 catches for 26 yards with only 5 targets in week 1. He was terrible. Nico Collins was terrible. T. Higgins was bad. Malik Neighbors didn't do much. CMC was a bright spot. I'm just looking through this one league. Bijan, if you took him, he was good. Gibbs didn't do a lot.
Oh, when you realize Kyle Pitts had more catches in week 1 than Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, and Nico Collins combined.
That's facts. Kyle Pitts had a good week. So those Kyle Pitts believers, you're on top right now. Kyle Pitts played good. Like Terry McLaurin sucked. Pacheco, Devontae Adams didn't do anything. It was just a rough week.
Yeah, it was a rough week.
And rough weeks lead to overreactions. A lot of them, even beyond fantasy.
Reaction Wednesday.
So many overreactions.
So normally how we do this, and John and I can talk. Normally John and I will put down like big things that happen throughout the week, because to go through 16 games is a lot, and we will be here forever talking 16 games. So maybe next week John and I will talk on camera how we're going to do this week by week for 18 plus weeks. Well, not 18 plus, 18 weeks. But we'll definitely talk prime time. We'll definitely talk Dolphins, Colts, Lions, Packers, because I want to talk about that, and all the games that John and I differed on. But we're not going to stand too much. Opener, Cowboys, Eagles. Jalen Carter didn't even make it a snap. Has been on Dak Prescott. They didn't say that they're going to punish him now.
Jalen Carter got a fine.
Yeah.
He got fined. But they're saying that his suspension was missing out that week 1 game. Like the fact that he didn't play at all in week 1. They're saying that that's his suspension. So he missed the whole game.
I will say the big takeaway from all of this, from this entire game, was how good the Cowboys looked. They didn't look too bad. Everyone said it was going to be a blowout week 1. And the Dak said, hold my beer. Now, granted, they didn't win. However, Dak looked pretty good. Javonte Williams did pretty decent. That defense was iffy because they're missing Micah Parsons. They could use a big guy like Micah Parsons. I think they should trade for Micah Parsons. But CeeDee Lamb, those drops, man. He still put up 18 points fantasy. But just imagine if he had 4 extra catches. Who knows what would happen? They could have won that game. They could have upset Philly saying. And the one takeaway I took up, if you want to talk overreactions for week 1, John, let's talk the fact that the Eagles might be beatable.
Yeah.
It's a division game, and it's week 1. But we talked about, like, I don't think anyone's going to basically be able to stop the Eagles. The Cowboys almost did.
You do have to note that Jalen Carter was
absent.
Ejected.
Yes. And
so their defense was worse.
Their defense was worse, but still.
But their offense. I mean, Saquon didn't have a huge game. The Cowboys stopped him. Like, even without Micah Parsons, they stopped Saquon.
Yeah.
Still AJ Brown was a non-factor. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, they couldn't stop when running. That was the difference maker.
Bad.
Jahan Dotson, Penn State legend, shout out to him. He had a nice game, receiving yards. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles, we're going to mention it a few times, new offensive coordinators. Eagles lost their offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. He's the head coach of the Saints. Some teams do well after losing their coordinator. They just move on like it was nothing. Some teams, it's not the case. Lions, I'm looking right at you.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. And like the Cowboys, like I think if CeeDee Lamb caught some of those balls, they could have won the game.
I think so too.
He was targeted 13 times, caught it 7. So that's 6 incompletions that went his way.
And to think about it, if he caught it.
Yeah, especially at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it's like some of those catches were tough, but when you're also getting paid like the big bucks, you should make those catches.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't a bad opening game. The weather delay kind of sucked, and it was a good game, and then the weather delay happened, and it was a crap show. I stayed up for nothing watching that game. But
because they scored nothing after that weather
nothing
delay
happened. And something could have happened if CD didn't drop those balls. But I think the biggest takeaway is the Eagles actually might be beatable. It's week 1. Anything can happen week 1. We'll get to that especially. But I didn't think they played too bad.
Yeah, Cowboys. I mean, I had them going 9-8. I think with Micah Parsons still on the team. I mean, I think they can compete. Dak looked good, and that's all that matters. They just need a healthy Dak.
I think their floor could be 9-8, and their ceiling could be like 11-6.
Yeah, maybe a lower floor, but I mean, they could. They just got to make those catches.
I
will
say,
compete.
Compared to week 1 last year, they looked a lot better.
A lot better. Dak looks better. That was the key. Dak did not look that good last year. No. And he got hurt too.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say too, before we move on, in terms of overreactions, and when we talk about players, there's definitely a big difference from college football and the NFL. And I'm just saying this before we move on and we talk about a lot of people and overreact. At least in college, Arch Manning, for example, he played bad. We overreacted. But Arch Manning in week 2 got to play against a crappy school, so he looked better. In the NFL, you don't get that opportunity in week 2. You got to go against another NFL team. So for some of these people that suck that we mentioned later, like they don't get that crappy team to go against. They're getting thrown into the fire. And I'm looking right at you, Tua, and all you people. We'll get to them. I just wanted to mention that before we kept moving.
We'll get to that. So John and I started the season 1-0. We both picked the Eagles. Like I said, we're not going to go through every game, but we're going to go quickly through all the games that John and I picked and that we got wrong or shocking. Moving up, Friday Night Football. Chargers upset the Chiefs. Justin Herbert finally showed up. Maybe because he played in a different country. Maybe not. Who knows? First game ever on YouTube. Shout out if you watched YouTube. Appreciate it. Shout out for the raid. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was so much fun.
Do you remember his name?
Tom Grossi.
Tom Grossi. Thank you, Tom Grossi. That was amazing. That was awesome. John was so confused.
Rewatched it too.
Yeah. Your reaction was funny.
Yeah. Well, I saw it on his stream.
Oh, you did?
It. Yeah, it was funny.
Just send it to me.
It was just on my TV. I saw it. But
whatever.
What was it? Yeah, that was fun. And it made me lose my voice by the end of the night.
Were you surprised that the Chargers beat the Chiefs?
Not fully surprised. I mean, I took the Chiefs. I got it wrong. But I'm not surprised because I was high on the Chargers when we did our predictions. Like, I had them going 10-7. I think I had them being the Chiefs at some point in the year.
Yeah.
But, like, they're a good team. Their defense is what scared me a bit. Like, their secondary. And Mahomes played good throwing the ball. Like, that wasn't their problem. Like, Hollywood Brown, Juju, like, they did good in the passing game. That's why I was scared with the Chargers. But Herbert looked great. I think Herbert's a top 10 quarterback. And he looked very effective. I think them getting Keenan Allen back is huge. And that's something that not enough people talk about, just getting Keenan Allen back to pair with Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston. Don't be fooled with Quentin Johnston. I know someone's picking him up in fantasy. Don't be fooled right away, though. It's week 1. He did the same thing last year. I'm just saying that right now. But take him if you got no one else. I hope someone's wasting their waiver wire pick on Quentin Johnston. I know I will not be. At least high priority pick. But yeah, I like Herbert. The question is, will this sustain? I don't know for sure. But, I mean, you beat the defending champs. I won't overreact on the Chiefs yet. And the thing is with the Chiefs, they might lose next week. They play the Eagles. So, not in a primetime game as well, which is crazy. But
is America's game of the week.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the Chiefs go 0-2, I still wouldn't even overreact yet either.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers look pretty good. I mean, losing Xavier Worthy hurt. Travis Kelce is definitely on his glory days. I think he's nearing the end of his career. But losing Xavier Worthy is not bad. So that means Juju and Hollywood Brown got to step up, especially with no Rashee Rice. Which, by the way, John, I don't think you saw this in our fantasy league. Nick's girlfriend's in this league, right?
Yeah.
Her flex starter is Rashee Rice. She started Rashee Rice this week, and she won.
That's called dedication to Rashee Rice.
I don't think she
do that every week.
I don't think she knows. I told him, and he's like, "Ain't no way." Shout
Let's
out you.
shout out that team real quick. I just want to see how that's even
She
possible.
did really good this week.
Is it? Oh, well, she had Josh Allen. She had
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, Keon Coleman. Yeah, she didn't need. I mean, 2 Josh Allen. Oh, like Josh Allen is worth 2 Rashee Rices. So it's like, oh yeah, and she went against Stroud, Henry. That was really just Henry. Everyone else sucked on that other team. That other team's not very good. I'm not gonna call that person out. That doesn't look like a very good team.
They came in second place last year. So
yeah, off a good start.
Yeah, not a good start. I played them this week. So
imagine if she. Though honestly, though, looking at her bench, who else was she gonna start?
Anyone?
Brendan Strange.
How many
That's
points?
a terrible bench. Oh
how many points does he have? Did he put up?
No, I'm talking about the girlfriend.
Yeah, but how many points? What did he put up? Brendan Strange.
Like 9.
Still more points than Rashee Rice. Well,
she might have had the best week in the league, but her bench is god awful. Actually, she didn't have the best team of the week in our league.
I don't remember who did, but
someone did who had 154. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, but Chiefs Chargers. If you didn't see the live stream, thank you. If you didn't see the live stream, Tom Grossi, thank you. It was amazing. Good time. Let's move on to Steelers Jets, and then we'll get on to the games.
Yes.
The big
this game will go in depth. Steelers games will go in depth.
I put out a tweet, and I want to stand by this tweet. The Pittsburgh Steelers, this game, look 10 times better they have since Ben Roethlisberger was at the helm of the ship on offense. And Devin made his TikTok. Shout out, Devin. Love you, Devin. But Devin said that Aaron Rodgers was basically did nothing that game. I think Aaron Rodgers did a lot that game.
No offense, it sounds like someone who just doesn't like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and
I feel him.
I don't
he had to watch Aaron Rodgers for 2 seasons.
And he came to a much better team.
Yes.
But then again, we're used to having crappy quarterbacks at the helm that just do enough. To have a vet, an actual MVP, a 3-time? Is he 3-time MVP?
2 in his last year with the Packers. I'm sure he won it another time before then. Yeah.
We'll say definitely 2-time MVP, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a guy who's been a quarterback for years since 2004. He looked pretty good for the age of 41 years old. Granted, offensive line looked a little sloppy. He was running for his life here and there, which they need to get under control. And defense looked horrible. But that offense did pretty good things. And the fact that they were able to put up as many points as they did week 1 was insane. I'm going to give the flowers to the Jets their flowers. They did awesome. I did not expect them to do that well. Granted, our defense looked like crap and Justin Fields was running all over it. But, like, low-key, that could have been a fun Monday night primetime game. Just saying. I'm surprised it didn't get primetime. Just because, like, Aaron Rodgers is returning to his old team.
Yeah, great story.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's week 1. It doesn't really, like, it could be a crappy game, but it's week 1. You're not going to know. Like, week 7, it could be a crappy game. Like,
and it was the second best game of the weekend. Yeah. Easily.
For sure.
Easily.
I mean, we're biased, but...
Yeah. I'll talk about the Jets first. I'll give them their love. Because if you're a Jets fan, if you're Devin out there, you shouldn't be mad at this team. Like, first game with a new head coach and your offense puts up 32 points like that. Like, yeah, you'll be disappointed with your defense, especially because Glenn is a defensive mind. But, I mean, Justin Fields, we loved him. We loved him. If you've listened to this podcast all these years, you know we loved him. He was fantastic. He was accurate passing the ball. He was incredible running the ball. I mean, I think just it was so hard just to tackle him. He'd just escape and be able to do anything with his legs, make accurate passes. That was one of his best games of his career in terms of he played perfectly and he didn't turn the ball over. Like, because that's typically what it would be. Like, he'd have these flashy games, but then he'd always have like a bad turnover or something like that. But he played clean. He was not the reason why the Jets lost. He was the reason why they probably should have won. If it was the Steelers' offense of old, they would have won this game easily. Fields played great. The running game looks really good, and that's what they preached. And Garrett Wilson, for you fantasy people, I would not be scared. Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson have chemistry. And their defense had some good moments too. They got to Aaron Rodgers a lot, but now we're done talking about the Jets. For the YouTube people, my screen is flashing because some people in NXT are popping up on the show.
I will say
strobe light.
I will say too with the Jets, by the way, real quick. The guy who got stuck on the American flag, you see the video?
Yeah,
that was
at the beginning. That was hilarious.
No, because you have to think about it too. Like all those fans are tugging on that flag and holding him up.
Yeah, but it's like, how does he get on the flag?
Yeah,
in the first place?
I think he got unraveled in it, but like still. And then or he must have been walking on it or something. And then they said, well, and then to go across the field. I don't know. I want to know. I want to ask this guy, how'd you get on it? But like you think about it too, they had to pick it up, right?
Yeah,
and pull his weight.
Yeah, they had to like spread it out. So how does a guy get on top of it?
Well, and the other thing too, like what would have happened? Like how? Like I just imagine them dropping the flag and him just falling.
Because the flag was up in the air too while he was on it. Like he was not touching the ground when he was crawling on it. So I'd love to see a whole video on that.
Yeah, interesting. If you didn't see that over the weekend, but you want to talk Steelers?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I love you.
Okay. Let's not overreact. It's week 1. Actually,
I don't care. I've never seen a Steeler offense this good in week 1 since like Big Ben days. I haven't seen an offense this good since that one Russell Wilson game against the Bengals where he went crazy. This offense looks great.
Then we score
not in the running game yet. Not in the running game yet. The running game looks iffy. I don't blame the running backs. I blame the O-line mainly. O-line, Broderick Jones, he did not have a great game. He allowed multiple sacks. We're going to be watching you going forwards, Broderick. In terms of everyone else, nothing crazy was noticeable except they didn't give a lot of great push in the running game. At least Jaylen Warren got a passing touchdown or a receiving touchdown.
Didn't we score in the opening drive too?
Yeah, opening drive we scored. Yeah, never happened. It was crazy. To Ben Skowronek as well. Dan Smith and I love to joke about Ben Skowronek because we were watching the Ravens-Steelers game last year, and Ben Skowronek was making catches, so we always call him like a legend for the Steelers. And he caught the first touchdown, so I was going crazy for that. I will say with the running backs, though, I mean, they were both great in pass protection. They were making some great moves in pass protection, and Kenneth Gainwell on special teams caused the one fumble. So got to give a shout out to the running backs for doing other things without being able to run as effectively. So I'll give them their credit. And Caleb Johnson, I think we're not going to see a lot of him in these games, at least initially. I think in more blowout type games, we'll see him more where the Steelers are up and they want to just run out the clock. I think we'll see him more then. Receivers, Calvin Austin, you're the wide receiver too. Congratulations. He looked great. Made some nice catches. He and Aaron Rodgers got some good looks, and he has a touchdown as well. DK made moves when he had to. And you remember that catch that he made when he was on the ground? It hit like Jonnu Smith.
Yeah,
it was like a ping pong. Yeah, that was hilarious. But hey, he caught it. He came up when it mattered most. I like it. I like the receiving group. I like the use of Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth, how they both work together. Hopefully we'll get to see more Roman Wilson in the future. But he wasn't even targeted this game, so it was kind of tough for him. I like the receiving group. I loved Aaron Rodgers. I loved the running backs doing things besides running the ball because they weren't that great at it. But they contributed elsewhere. The O-line, it's got to get better. It's got to get much better, especially Broderick. For defense, do you have any thoughts, O-line, before we go defense? Or just offense?
No, not really.
I
will say, too, I love how the NFL moved the kickoff back.
Major success.
Major.
For the NFL. Major. Like, not enough people are talking about that, too. Because, for those who don't know, if you're kind of new to it, it's the same setup, but they changed it so if it goes out of bounds or in the end zone and like they kneel in the end zone, you get to take the ball out to the 35-yard line. Previously it was 30, and back in the old days it was the 25. So not many teams want to have the ball at the 35-yard line.
And I think they moved the kicker back, right?
I'm not sure, but the kicker is intentionally hitting it now so that it's getting returned.
And
because they don't want to go in the end zone.
The only thing that happened this weekend is screw the Bears, which we'll get to. All right, defense. First things first, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I would tell TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, all the vets who didn't play in preseason that you have to play one drive. I don't care about these vet rules, dude. I really don't. Like, even at quarterback, like, yeah, the offense looked good, but still, I feel like they should always play one drive. Not even like I'm saying TJ Watt has to play his best football in preseason, but like play one drive. Don't even really try and just get used to it, you know? And I'm not saying that would have helped like 10 times, but it might have helped a little bit, you know? And I think it's another reason why Tomlin should be fired. And we're not going to start that right now, but don't let this win fool you. Unless Tomlin wins the Super Bowl, don't let this win fool you.
I mean, with Watt, at least he played decent. I know he didn't get sacks, but he had 2 tackles for loss and a pass defended. So I'll give him that. Like, he did contribute. Cam Hayward's where I got the problem. Because this guy was complaining all camp, all preseason, just to do nothing.
And really. Mind you, this is the guy, too, who talked about Aaron Rodgers took forever with his decision to come play for the Steelers. And as well, when Le'Veon Bell was holding out years ago, he complained about it. But he wanted $3 million because he doesn't have enough money for his family, which he might not. But he
should.
He's made $130 million. If you lose 100, let's say they take at least half. Let's say they take half of it for taxes. You'll have $65 million.
No sympathy. None. Don't care. I don't care how tough it is for him. We don't got that money. I think a lot of people in our media stuff, podcasters, they don't get that money. So
I'd be
sympathy.
I'd be taking hits like that for $500,000.
Yeah, a lot of people would do it for the bare minimum. So, especially at his age too, I was never sympathetic for Cam Hayward, nor was I for a lot of other people who were in holdouts. But at least if you're a D lineman, you should be good at stopping the run. The Jets had 182 total rushing yards. Unacceptable. And who you look at first is people on that D line. So I look right at Cam Hayward when that happens. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
I will say too, like there was one play where Justin Fields ran for that 2-point or touchdown. I can't remember what it was.
It was the touchdown, I think.
Yeah. I literally was sitting there. I was like, he's going to run it. He's going to pull Peyton Manning. Do you remember when Peyton Manning was playing the Broncos? Yeah. He handed off and he like trotted out. Yeah, the fake out. I knew he was going to do that. Or some idea. And Tomlin didn't account for that. Or the defense didn't even think about
that. That was mainly on TJ Watt. That was kind of his assignment there. And Watt kind of went all in on the back instead. Yeah. Someone had to be more aware there. I probably blame Terrell Austin more on that than anything. And TJ Watt. But Cam Hayward, you got to play better. That D-line got to play better. Secondary got to play better. Darius Slay gave up that deep ball touchdown to Garrett Wilson. That can't happen again. Joey Porter had a minor hamstring injury, but they took him out of precaution more than anything. He's not going to be out long term. Jalen Ramsey, though, fantastic.
Yeah,
player of the game on defense. The energy that he brought. The energy at halftime, just getting in those shuffles, and then that final play won the game. Won the game for the Steelers. Hit Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
he's fantastic. Yeah,
and
I just want to say the Steelers won the trade with the Minkah trade. You got Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Both contributed.
And obviously we lost our starting safety
for a couple weeks. Yeah, Elliott.
Yeah, but we got Jarrell Peppers.
Yep, Jarrell Peppers got him from the Patriots. Thank you, Jordan. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
He was not happy.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we got Peppers. He'll be the starting safety now, ideally. Because, I mean, Chuck Clark came in, had some nice plays. He and Thornhill had a nice play on run defense, but yeah, you need somebody else back there too. So great signing by Omar Khan there. Um, but I was happy. 34-32 in a shootout. The fact that the Steelers proved that they can
Oh,
win in a shootout, I think it's
we
a good sign.
also Boz hitting a 60-yarder.
Yes, Boz, MVP. Because I love it. On second down, like they get in that situation. On third down, they just throw a fade. Like, who cares if it's incomplete because Chris Boswell can hit a 60-yard field goal.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
who cares? And he drilled it. Absolutely drilled it. I will just say my last thought, because we got a lot to talk about. This is a good win because when you play against the Ravens, you play against the Bills, the Chiefs, it's probably going to be a high-scoring game. Like, your defense is going to give up points. The fact that this team proved that they can win a shootout, I think, is massive for during the season.
The Jets don't have a bad defense.
Yeah, the Jets really don't have a terrible defense either. They had some playmakers there, too. Like, I'm not down on the Jets at all.
No, not at all. So we'll see what happens following the season. We'll stay tuned for that. Like I said, we're going to skip a couple of games, and we're going to go fast for these until the big games at the end. And then, like I said, next week we'll figure out a full thing. Dolphins, Colts, John and I both got this pick wrong. But then again, I don't think John and I expected the Dolphins to be this bad and Daniel Jones to be this good. Tyler Warren had a great game. Michael Pittman had a great game. Daniel Jones had a great game for being Daniel Jones. And the Miami Dolphins just looked horrible. They looked horrible.
Question is, though, do we overreact on the Dolphins?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was already talking to my parents because, as you know, I'm a season ticket holder. John and I have our game locked for later this year. We're going to be tweeting in that stadium, you and I.
We are going to be content creators when it comes to Steeler games.
But there will be more on that later. But we played this Dolphins Monday Night Football late in the year, and I told my parents that the Dolphins keep playing the way they do. They might just flex that game.
Yeah. I'm not ready to overreact, though, on the Dolphins.
No, there am I.
I'm not ready for it. I think, like, Tua played bad. That was the key. And it was funny because Xavier Howard, who I believe is now a corner for the Colts, he just said, like, it was so easy because once we took away Tua's first read, like, he panics because he likes to throw the ball quickly. So it could be a key for stopping that offense. Take away Tua's first read. He's not a very mobile guy. So,
and I will say, too, I don't think Tua's going to win that team a Super Bowl.
No. This Dolphins team, ugh.
And I think, here's the other thing, too. Like, if you're the Dolphins and you're the, what's it called? If you're the GM, just realize this and be like, all right, like, we got to get him out or go get us someone else because it's not going to work. Because you have so much talent on that team. And it's just not clicking together. Like we said, it's week 1. We're not trying to overreact here. But that's week 1 for you, baby. But it's like the same thing. Here's the way I think of it, too, real quick, by the way. I think of it as the Saints and the Cowboys last year.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Because we overhyped the Saints last year a little bit.
That was week 2. And week 1, the Saints killed the Falcons, I think.
Yeah, it was week 1 and week 2, the Saints, I think they beat, like, the Panthers and the Cowboys. Like, they just killed them in back-to-back weeks.
Sorry. And that could be how this team could be for the Colts.
Yeah. I'm not overreacting on the Colts.
And I mean, the Cowboys didn't turn out too bad last year.
Yeah.
Same with the Panthers. I mean, they did worse, but still.
Yeah. I will just say this, because I don't want to talk too much on the Dolphins, because I don't want to overreact. I don't. Like, first off, I believe when we look back at our old predictions, I had Shane Steichen being the first coach fired. I wish I could change that to Mike McDaniel. You have Brian Dable, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more on the case that if the whole season doesn't go good, then Mike McDaniel should be fired. But I don't know how easy it will be to get rid of Tua if this year is a failure. Because he has the big contract already. He's getting paid a good amount of money. So I don't know what kind of opt-out they have or if they can trade him. I don't know. I don't know who would want to trade for him with his injury history. So they're really in a tough spot. They got to get that offense working and that defense. I never liked their secondary, especially losing Ramsey. So I
Yeah.
think they're going to kind of struggle, but I won't overreact yet. But the Colts, same thing. Daniel Jones looked good. I'm not going to say at all that they'll be consistent. Fantasy lovers might like it. But other than that, I'm happy Tyler Warren, Penn State legend, played good. But I'm not overreacting. It's week 1. The Colts are not back yet.
Week 3, week 4 is when we start loading, because after even last year too, we can't be like, oh, the Saints are back.
I'd say week 3 is when overreactions can become reality.
Yeah, and then knowing us, they're gonna like start doing great. Let's move on. Like I said, we're gonna talk about the picks we got wrong. Raiders, Patriots. I mean, I'm not surprised the Raiders won. They have a good. I mean, they obviously have a legend at head coach with Pete Carroll. Yes, thank you. Geno Smith, WV legend, throwing the ball.
I like
Ashton
when you
Jeanty,
said that.
Brock Bowers, which I think Brock Bowers got hurt, right?
He got hurt, but he should be okay.
Okay. So, like, I'm not surprised. I think the Patriots are fine. They got to build a system up there with the Mike Vrabel coming in as their new head coach, and they got to tear everything down that Belichick and that team got ruined with. And so, we'll see. And also, you think about it, too, like, do you trust the Patriots owner?
Kraft?
Yeah.
I mean, I do, because he was the owner for the Brady era. I mean, they've made the right choices. Getting Vrabel was the right choice.
Yeah, true.
So, it's going to take time. I think you ideally hope that Drake May would be a bit better. He probably threw it too much in this game. They really had no running game at all. That's got to change. But I'm happy that you said it, WVU legend Geno Smith. I'm happy he played good. Brock Bowers played good. Jacoby Myers is playing despite requesting a trade a while back. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a big one for the Raiders. We both got that wrong. Patriots might take a little more time to gel, I'd say.
Giants, Commanders. I got this one wrong. Yeah, it's kind of stupid to take this pick, but it's week 1. We saw it last year where the Patriots upset the Bengals week 1, but that Giants offense looks horrible. Their offensive line looked horrible. I don't know how much longer they're going to go on like this.
They're already calling for Jackson Dart to start.
Yes. I kind of feel bad for Russell Wilson.
I do too.
He seems like a genuine nice guy.
He is. And he's proven that he can still play at a decent level.
But
like he had some good moments with the Steelers. I wasn't down on him.
He signed with the Giants.
Yeah.
I think he did that because he wanted to start.
Yeah, and he is. And obviously, he signed before Jackson Dart was drafted as well. So that doesn't help. He's on a very short leash. But I wouldn't just throw Dart into the fire right away. Like, there's no guarantee that he's going to have a Jaden Daniels type of season. There's no guarantee at all. Like, some guys, their rookie years, they're incredible. Sometimes they suck. You don't know. I trust Dable on that. But hopefully they figure it out. They played a good Commanders team. Jaden Daniels looked good. Debo Samuel looked really good on the new team. So shout out to him on my fantasy bench. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Bill. He was listed as the RB4, but easily looking like the RB1. So I know fantasy people were happy about that too. But we'll see with the Giants. I don't got a lot of faith in them overall.
Yeah. Quickly, Panthers, Jags. I took the Panthers. I got this wrong. Like I said, I got the game also got delayed.
Yeah, that was bad. That bad delay.
But Travis Hunter looked half decent in his first NFL start.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence needed to play a lot better. I mean, he's in his 4th or 5th year at this point. He's got to be playing better. But Bryce Young, not a good start.
No.
Not a good start. This is a big year. I mean, it's the big year 3 for Bryce Young. And if he doesn't, prove that he can be the starting quarterback of the future, they could move on from him. They really could. 3 years is usually that number.
And this is a good quarterback class, so this is when you start getting worried.
And if they, for some reason, bench Bryce Young again like they did last year, I think it's Jover at that point for him. But it is early. It could have just been one bad game.
Yeah.
But you're playing against the Jags. You ideally shouldn't be having that kind of performance against the Jags. So he's not looking great to start the year. So let's trim down those expectations.
Yeah, I got 7 wrong, and we're still going with my next wrong pick. Niners and Seahawks.
Huh.
How'd your
close game?
how's Sam Darnold look?
Sam Darnold, he threw everything to Jackson Smith and Jigba, so fantasy people should be happy about that. I mean, he was kind of accurate. He just didn't have any touchdowns or picks. They ran the ball a lot. They ran the ball more than they threw it. He has a good connection with Smith and Jigba, but their offense was just kind of stagnant week 1 against a good Niners team. Brock Purdy threw it a lot. Had 2 picks, but 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey was healthy. That's a good sign. But George Kittle is not healthy, and he is on IR. So he will not play for the next 4 weeks. So, but his backup tight end, Jake Tonges, had the game-winning touchdown. So shout out to him. Ricky Pearsall on my fantasy team, he had 108 receiving yards. So, I mean, I had the Niners doing well in our predictions. So I'm kind of happy about that. So that's why I picked them.
All right. Finally. One more game before we get to the final primetime games, and we're going to make our predictions. We're going to get out of here. Lions, Packers. John got this one wrong. I took the Packers. John, what I exactly told you what would happen last week. I said the Lions are going to play bad, and everyone's going to freak out about the Lions. And what happened? They played bad, and everyone's freaking out about the Lions. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, their running game sucked. Let's just say that. Jared Goff was throwing it too much. That's typically a recipe for failure when Jared Goff is throwing it that many times. Like, Gibbs and Montgomery couldn't do anything on the ground. I know they had some tweaking of the O-line. Their starting center retired. I think they had an injury too, so that's something they have to fix up. But they lost their coordinators. They lost Aaron Glenn. They lost Ben Johnson. Like we said earlier, sometimes teams just adjust well after losing their coordinators. Like the Bucs have been able to just rinse and repeat with coordinators, and they've been fine on offense. But some teams, Eagles, first time they lost their coordinators, they sucked. Lions, it could be a tough boat. I didn't see a lot of creativity in that offense. That used to be the case. Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 catches for 31 yards. That's like a new low, I think, in terms of having that many receptions for that low yardage. Amon-Ra St. Brown only had 6 targets. They were just stagnant. Give credit to the Packers. Jordan Love played good until near the end of the game. He was throwing it to everybody. Micah Parsons had 1 sack at the end of the game. Kind of meaningless, but still had a sack. So the Lions play the Bears week 2. Depending on how they play against the Bears, I think that will be our overreaction or not point with the Lions. Depending on how they play against the Bears.
Bears, which I predicted.
Yeah, so. I will say, too, we did skip one game. We are skipping a few, and these are games that we predicted correctly. But I will just say the Bengals and Browns, they lost. The Browns lost because their kicker couldn't make like a 30-yard field goal. It was hilarious. But we both took the Bengals. So
also,
shout out the AFC North.
The Bengals-Browns was the first 6-7 game of the year, not Texans-Rams, because the Browns kicker missed a extra point.
I see.
Well, technically that was 7-6. Yours was 6-7.
Oh, on that post, I just thought that it was funny. The number was funny. Yeah.
But, all right, let's talk primetime, and then we'll get to predictions. Sunday Night Football. The Baltimore Chokers versus the Buffalo Bills.
Chris Collinsworth loved this game.
He did. I'm sure he found some ways to talk about Patrick Mahomes in that commentary too. I will say, I think people are starting to realize that Jim Harbaugh is part of the reason they lose these games. John Harbaugh is part of the reasons they lose this game. Which I can kind of see. If you saw my post on TikTok, go check it out. It's me talking about all the leads the Ravens have choked. It's a lot. And like, here's the thing: as an NFL fan, I feel bad for Raven fans, just because like your team should not be doing that consistently enough as something as big as happening on NXT. Your team should not be doing that consistently. I feel bad for the fans, but as a Steelers fan, keep it happening, baby. I love to see it. All right, John, your face says it all. What's happening on NXT?
Nothing. I'll talk to you after it.
Okay, fair enough. But, yeah, I think people are starting to realize that John Harbaugh might be the problem. Kind of like how Steelers fans should realize that Mike Tomlin might be the problem. Like Morgan Wallen says, I'm the problem. Now, how do you blow that game? Yeah. Derrick Henry was phenomenal that entire game until that one fumble. But I don't think that should be blamed too much on him because you were up so much at a point that you lost still.
Well, that fumble really sucked because they could have ran out that clock.
They could have
fumble.
But even after that too, it's okay. So after that, they go after to the 2-minute warning, right? They're about to go to the 2-minute warning, or after. I can't really remember my head. But it's 3rd and 3. And years ago, the Ravens played the Chiefs Sunday Night Football, week 1 or like early in the week. And John Harbaugh sat there and said, you know what, Lamar, you're going to keep it. You're going to run, get the first down. We're going to end this game. The Chiefs lost. They punted it back to the Bills.
Yeah.
And
Let's stay there. Let's stay there real quick. I don't want to go far away. You say
no, we're not. I'm just going to say, Lamar has changed so much as a player that like he's not running as much and he's throwing it, which is what quarterbacks do. But like, why not just,
And Collinsworth, I'll give credit to him. He said the same thing, like maybe you should go for it. But here, I mean, it was tough. It was really tough because you're only up by 2, and you're at like the 40-yard line with like a long 2. So that's not an easy run at all. I remember that Chiefs game. They only had like 1 yard they had to get. And if you don't get it, the Bills are like in just about field goal range and you lose the game. So, I mean, I don't hate that they punted it there. I mean, it was a huge gamble to go for it. And I don't even think Lamar would have been able to run for it in that situation. The Bills' defense was playing better. But it's like you were kind of screwed either way because Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So, it was really tough in that instance. But they choked. That defense choked so badly.
Horribly.
It was hilarious. You talk about the coaches. What's sad is that like these Harbaughs and Tomlins, like they kind of have the job until they don't want it anymore. I feel like, just because of their legacies, and because I mean Harbaugh at least makes it to the playoffs every year and like gets to at least the second round or the AFC Championship. So I feel
Which
like
never
even
used to be the case.
Yeah, it hasn't always been the case, but I just think because of their legacies, they're really hard to replace.
Yeah, but they're stuck.
They're stuck where they are.
Unless they go like 3-14.
Yeah, they'd have to have a really bad drop off. But that's not going to happen when Lamar Jackson is your quarterback. Like he and Josh Allen proved why they were the MVP front runners last year, and they're looking like they're going to be the MVP front runners again this year. And Josh Allen probably, if they're tied, Josh Allen just made his case for the tiebreaker for winning this game. He's incredible. Aside from those kneel downs at the end, which I hated, he was absolutely incredible. Threw for 394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, as well as 2 rushing touchdowns. He is that team. Literally that team. Shout out to the receivers for stepping up too when he needed them. Josh Allen is incredible. I always say Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I'll still say it until one of these guys beats him. But Josh Allen is...
in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. Once one of these guys, Allen or Lamar, beats Mahomes in the playoffs, I'll officially say that quarterback's better than Mahomes. But, I mean, in my predictions, our playoff predictions, I had the Bills beating the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
It could be the year for Josh Allen. He looks really good. The defense needs to figure it out, though. I know they had injuries. They had injuries in that secondary for the Bills. but they got figured out. Ravens too. Their secondary shouldn't have problems with the names that they have. They just got to play better. Jair Alexander has to play much better. Got to say that right now.
We
And
got
their
lucky.
D-line.
We got lucky week 1 with Sunday Night Football. We
did.
thought it was over. Then Monday Night Football said, hold my beer. Let's talk Bears Vikings.
We were recording too for like the first half, I think. So it was like a little
we
tough.
And the game was crappy in the first half. And then the third quarter was crappy. And then the fourth quarter came around. The Bears were up 13-6, was it?
Something like that. Because they had the pick six.
Yeah. No, so it was...
They were up more. They were up by like 2 scores.
Yeah. They were up 2 scores. And then the Vikings said, hold my beer. J.J. McCarthy looked horrible until the fourth quarter. Then all of a sudden, the lights dimmed down, and he said, I got this. And he won them the game. Caleb Williams, on the other hand, crapped the bed. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
And it's week 1, but I was never high on Caleb Williams. He's never been high on my radar. And I think, if anything, Ben Johnson could make him a great quarterback. But, he just looks so bad. All the dump passes, they weren't doing anything towards the end of the game. It's do or die. And then all of a sudden, too, they get the touchdown, right? Or the field goal or whatever. They're down by 3. 2:02 left on the clock. And I would have never thought of this, but everyone else whose sports did. Their kicker has one of the weakest legs in the NFL. Minus the Browns kicker. Which the Browns drafted that kicker, by the way, which is kind of funny.
And by we mean he can't kick it far. Not that he's a bad kicker.
He can't kick it far. So with the new rule changes, he has to kick it into that zone. So theoretically, the best thing to do would be kick it out of the end zone. Make it a touchback and get it to the 35. Yeah, they go to 35, but then they keep the 2-minute warning. They have to run a play. Yeah. But he doesn't have that power of a leg. So someone said, just kick it out of bounds to the left. Shank it.
Because, that is a bigger penalty, but still.
But still, you still get the 2-minute warning, which you need it, which could have been the decisive of Caleb Williams driving down the field to at least try to get them in field goal range, which would have probably had been from the 30 to make it a 46-yarder.
Yeah.
But still.
I think he just tried kicking it into the end zone, out the end zone, and just failed.
And shout out to the Vikings head coach. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Kevin O'Connell telling him to come out of the end zone to run the clock down.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because if you're a player, you might have forgot. You might have forgotten that instance. Because it was kicked in the end zone enough to where he could have kneeled.
Yeah.
But he looked over at O'Connell.
I remember texting the fantasy group chat yesterday. I'm in. And we were talking about it. And someone goes, hold on. I said, also, there's a chance I can beat you this week. My wide receiver needs 18 points. And then someone talked about Justin Jefferson. I said, J.J. McCarthy scares me. And they go, why? I said, because he's making his NFL debut. That's not preseason. And then when he was in Michigan, all he did was ran the ball.
And threw picks against Bowling Green.
Threw 3 picks against Bowling Green. Shout out Bowling Green. And I was looking good with that statement till the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy said, hold my beer.
Looked good.
And I think at the end of this, the Bears still suck.
The Bears.
The Bears still suck. They still got the sucking in them. Yeah. And I think that loss is to blame on Caleb Williams. I truly think it is.
Yeah. Williams looked good early. He did fan out near the end. I just wish that offense had some Ben Johnson charm in it, those exciting plays. At least what I saw in the second half, I didn't see any of that. So hopefully they can spicing up that offense a bit. It's too early to say the Bears suck, but the Bears play the Lions next week. Both two teams that struggle and can get a rebound win. I will be very intrigued to watch that game. But the Vikings, their defense has always been good. The one touchdown the Bears got was off a pick six. That wasn't even the defense. And JJ McCarthy, when he was looking his best, he looked his best. So I think if you're a Vikings fan, you should be excited about that. Like he got a touchdown to Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. So
Yeah.
And a rushing touchdown. So he didn't
But-
look great all game, but the good that you saw was pretty good.
Yeah. And Aaron Jones is probably going to be losing his job to Ty Chandler soon, too, I think.
I think they'll split. Jordan Mason, I think you're thinking
Yeah,
of.
Jordan Mason, sorry.
I think they'll... Because Jordan Mason did
Slowly.
better rushing. Aaron
Yeah.
Jones was the leading receiver on the team.
Receiver.
I think they'll split carries. Jones being early down, Jones being later down. I think they'll do that. Both are good running backs.
And the other takeaway I have from this, too, before we start making predictions, I still don't trust either team to do well this year. After what we just witnessed, I don't expect them to make a dent in anything.
Yeah. I was never high on either team. Like
No.
that, I was 9-8 max for both
Yeah.
teams, so I'm still solid about that.
9 and 8.
Yeah.
But all right, that's week 1. We talked, we rambled.
Yeah.
Let's talk week 2, baby. We're gonna make our predictions. If you don't know how this works, John and I make our predictions. We go through, we talk who we think is gonna win each game, and we predict it. And at the end of the year, we'll talk how we did completely and who won. Last year we didn't keep control. This is the first year we actually are keeping record.
Oh,
But every
did
year
keep
we all-
record. We kept record last year.
We did keep record.
It's
and
in
John
the
killed me.
archive.
John killed me. So we're trying to come back I'm trying to come back this year. And we also keep time of our primetime games and postseason. So without further ado,
Without further
Oh.
ado, I will say the difference between this and college, we do not do super dogs,
no
As well.
super dogs.
and we
And-
don't break down each game like in depth like we do college as
No.
well. I will say the only bonus points I think we'll give at the end were our early predictions.
Yes.
Those
Um,
we'll incorporate those as bonus points, but that's it.
so John is starting 12-4. I am starting 9-7. I got some catching up to do. So without further ado, let's start. Thursday night football. Commanders versus the Packers. Jane Daniels versus Jordan Love. Who you got, John?
Ooh, I get to go first. Sweet. I'm 1-0 in Thursday night football. I like both teams. I am gonna take the Packers. I liked what I saw out of their defense. So if we're talking defense winning, I think Micah Parsons is gonna have a big impact in this game. I'll take the Packers to beat the Commanders Thursday night football.
I'm actually going to stay the same with you. I'm going to take the Packers as well. I remember I wasn't too high on the Commanders. I think they're still going to make the playoffs and do something. But I think that new Packers defense is going to show up and give Jane Daniels a little run for his money. Seahawks versus Steelers Sunday slate, 1 o'clock. I will be there. First game of the year. I am looking so forward to it. I always pick them until they lose. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers, especially because the Seahawks didn't look crazy this past game. Check out the socials because we'll definitely have footage from that game on our socials.
Oh, wait, never mind. Aaron Rodgers does not own the Seahawks.
Not yet.
I will say, too, the Seahawks are coming from the West Coast, which is actually a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Rams, Titans. Cam Ward, wide receivers, looked horrible last week. Felt bad for him. Broncos did enough to win the game. John, who you got? Rams, Titans.
I got the Rams. I didn't like the coaching from Brian Callahan with the Titans. I didn't like. It felt like he was coaching Will Levis still, and I did not
Yeah.
like that. We didn't talk about that game, rightfully so. I'll take the Rams here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Rams as well. I think the Titans have a long road to come, but I think Cam Ward needs some experience, so I'm going to stick with the Rams. Jaguars versus the Bengals, as John does not write down my pick.
There we
Jaguars versus Bengals. Bengals snuck by barely with a victory with their Browns shanking a 30-yard field goal. Jags, Trevor Lawrence trying to make a big statement this year, because if not, who knows what that Jags team is going to do. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think that the Bengals offense needs to go off this week. I think Shamar is going to get the ball more. T. Higgins is going to do well. Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, It's just that defense, but I don't think the Jags are going to do too well with their offense. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals too. I didn't really like what I saw of the Jags, but the Bengals, they need a bounce back game in terms of their offense. That was unacceptable for guys like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. So I think the Bengals get a bounce back at home here.
Browns versus Ravens. Browns are having their second opponent in the AFC North in week 2. They come off a bad loss with a bad team. Though Joe Flacco throwing touchdowns at the right old age of whatever old he is, but he's doing awesome. Ravens are coming off a very shocking loss that they should have won. John, who you got?
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if this game was closer because the Browns had some decent moments on both sides of the ball. And I mean, you're always going against Myles Garrett, so that'll be tough. But I am going to take the Ravens. I think that Ravens offense should do enough to win this game. I don't see a Joe Flacco pulling a Josh Allen moment in this game.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm going to take the Ravens as well. I think the Ravens need this win to get the confidence because if they start 0-2 again, I'll be happy. Bills versus Jets. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, going against Justin Fields, the young vet. I don't call him a young vet because he's been bouncing from team to team. John, who do you got?
For this game, I got the Bills, even though I do like the Jets. I'm not sure, though, how Fields is going to be in back-to-back weeks. So I'm not fully sure, but I'm not sold on the Bills' defense, so I do think that this could be a shootout potentially. But I'll take the Bills here.
I am going to take the Bills as well. I think Josh Allen is going to pull some voodoo magic out, and he's somehow going to win the game. I do agree. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect, where he's going to dominate the Jets, and then the Steelers are going to be like, dang, their defense really did suck. A lot worse than the Jets. Patriots versus Dolphins. This is a hard one to predict because I don't know.
I know
the Dolphins blew a bad lead. The Patriots, we took them. They both sucked. I'm going to stick with the Patriots. I expect a lot more out of the Dolphins, but I think the Dolphins are going to hit the panic button after this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dolphins here. I'm going to differ from you. It's in Miami. I'm not a big fan of the Patriots defense, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, but I'll take the Dolphins here. I'll differ from you.
All right, first difference. Niners versus the Saints. I would talk about it, but the Saints, we both expect them to be horrible. I'm going to take the Niners.
Yep, I will join you. Go Niners.
All right. Giants, Cowboys. That Giants offense looks bad. Cowboys looked a lot better. If the Giants actually looked half decent week 1, I might have actually considered taking the Giants. But that Cowboys team looked so good against the Eagles. Even though they lost, they looked a lot better than what they did last year. So I'm going to take them boys. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah. If it was in New York, maybe I'd take the Giants, but I'm taking the Cowboys.
The Bears versus the Lions. 2 teams on 1. This is a rivalry game, even though, yes, it's technically an NFC North game. But Dan Campbell versus Ben Johnson, the first of 2 in Detroit. Lions' first home game. I'm going to take the Lions. I think the Bears could actually have a shot of beating the Lions, especially the way the Lions played week 1. However, if Caleb Williams puts up another stinker, which odds are pretty good, I think the Lions are going to take advantage of it. Give me the Lions.
Call me very crazy. I'm going to differ from you. I'm going to take the Bears. I don't know.
The Bears.
I like your little theory that people are going to
possible.
overreact with the Lions a little bit. I think Ben Johnson gets some revenge here in this game. Lions might have to face some adversity at the start of the year. I've kind of changed my tune on the Lions a little bit. We'll see. This could just be an overreaction, but I'll differ for the fun of it. I'll take the Bears here.
Broncos versus Colts.
Ooh.
Colts, red hot Colts. The Indianapolis Super Bowl Colts versus Bo Nix and the Broncos. John, it's your turn. Who you got?
I'm going to say that the Broncos defense finally puts Daniel Jones in that offense in its place, so I'm going to take the Broncos here.
It's week 2, baby. It's still overreaction week. I'm going to take the Colts.
And we're going to talk about next week how the Colts look so good, and then they're going to crap the bed the rest of the season. Just saying. Panthers versus Cardinals. Two teams I actually have doing really well this year for their division. It is my turn. I'm going to stick with the Cardinals. I think Bryce Young just didn't look good. He has to play a lot better this week, but Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, Kyler Murray, they should come out with a nice victory in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. I liked what Kyler Murray did last week. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a good first week. I'm not sold yet with Bryce Young this season, so I'll take the Cardinals.
America's game of the week on Fox, Eagles versus the Chiefs. Chiefs' first home game of the year. Make sure you see Taylor Swift in attendance.
Oh, God.
The Super Bowl. I just had to say that to Orja. Super Bowl 59 rematch. Remember, the Eagles killed the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Chiefs will definitely not have Xavier Worthy.
Likely.
But they likely not have Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce, obviously. No Rashee Rice, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquise Brown. That Chiefs defense, we didn't really talk about. They didn't look too good. Yeah. It's my turn, right? I'm going to take the Eagles.
Fair. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Fly, birds, fly.
I'll take the Eagles as well. I'm not taking the Chiefs. Chiefs start 0-2. Got to fight a little bit.
A little lower off.
That dark magic is not there to start the year. Go Eagles.
No, I will say, too, by the way, I don't expect the Eagles to blow them out like they did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this will be closer, I think.
A lot closer. Falcons versus Vikings. Sunday Night Football in Minnesota. Younghoe Koo missed an important kick for the Falcons. We really didn't talk about them. But Michael Penix put a nice little drive together. Then the Vikings are coming off a very, I would say, lucky win against the Bears. The Bears. It's my turn. I think J.J. McCarthy has his first loss here. I'm going to take the Falcons. And a close game.
All right. I'm going to take the Vikings. Defense wins games. I like the Vikings defense a little bit more. So I think their defensive playmakers will make a big stand. Give me the Vikings in a close game.
By the way, if the Vikings win this game, I'm going to stop picking against the Vikings because I do not do good when I pick against the Vikings.
I'll be 2-0 in Sunday Night Football if that's the case.
I know. I'm sorry, 0-1. It's not good. Monday Night Football. There's two games, by the way. I think Bucks versus Texans, or is that 7?
Yeah, that's at 7.
And Chargers versus Raiders is at 8. So Buccaneers versus Texans. Buccaneers came off a win. Texans are coming off a loss in Los Angeles. CJ Stroud didn't look too good week 1, right? From what I remember.
Not a great start. The Bucks took a while, but they got it going, I'd say. It's in Texas, though.
It is in Texas. Monday Night Football.
I pick first, right?
Yes.
I'll take the Bucks. Though I think this is a coin flip game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think it's a coin flip game too. But something's telling me Buccaneers as well. 8 o'clock to wrap up week 2. Chargers versus Raiders. The Chargers are playing a division opponent again in week 2 in Las Vegas. They go from one crazy crowd to another crazy crowd. That crowd in Brazil was awesome. Us watching that national anthem was amazing.
Yeah.
The Brazilian national anthem. They love their country, and I respect them so much for that. Chargers versus Raiders. It is my pick to end off this week. I think Justin Herbert's way too hot. I'm going to take the Chargers.
I completely agree. I'm going to take the Chargers, though. I think if Brock Bowers is playing, this is going to be an exciting game. So,
do we also get the asterisks in this? I can't remember. I think we do.
If you want one asterisk, you can do an asterisk.
I'm not taking an asterisk this week.
Yeah, I don't have any asterisks either. If you're confused,
cool.
An asterisk is if there is like a situation. Let's just say Brock Bowers, for example. Like, we don't know if Brock Bowers is playing or not because he's questionable. I could take the Raiders with the asterisk if Brock Bowers plays. If he is ruled out, then I would take the Chargers. You only get one of those per week. There you go.
Exactly. Well, that's it. We're done. Tomorrow on Inside the Dome, college football week 3 predictions. We will talk everything from game day to the backyard brawl.
Yes.
And that's going to be kicking off the episode. That's going to be a fun little conversation. We'll talk everything that major happened in week 3. We had our first full week of football. It was a beautiful week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Later on, final verdict as well. The 101st episode will be dropping. Peacemaker episode 4 reactions, I believe. That is dropping either Friday or Saturday. We will see when that comes out. And John and I are talking about seeing movies. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But without further ado, that's it. Thank you for listening to Inside the Dome. Make sure you go check out all the podcasts wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go check out the YouTube because this episode is on YouTube. Every NFL episode will be on YouTube. Every college episode will be on YouTube. I think every Under the Lights, but Under the Lights is on a hiatus at this very moment. Also, be cautious for streams. Streams will happen here and there, so make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah.
For that, make sure you check out.
Streams are random. They'll just be whenever.
Streams are random. We'll promote them, though. Make sure you check out TikTok, Twitter/X. That's all by John Cena. Thank you, Mr. Cena. WrestlePalooza is next Saturday, which John and I normally make our predictions. We might post them on TikTok.
Yeah, if we have a
of who we're
chill
doing.
week, I don't know how next week's going to be. Well,
Probably not chill.
Yeah. Hey.
You know why it's not chill?
Why?
Gen V starts next week.
Yeah, it's not going to be a chill week.
Yeah. Gen V starts next week. Make sure you stay tuned to that. Also, Summer of the Return Party ends next week, so make sure you stay tuned for TikToks. As you know, it's beautiful reactions for that. But without that, we're done. With John Nadero, I'm Carlin Jacob, and we will see you tomorrow for college football. And thank you for listening to Inside the Dome.